All right there, everybody. Welcome. This is Tony Porter, and here we have Game 3 of our tournament series between the 63 Yankees and the 86 Mets. It's going to be Rick Aguilera on the mound for the home team, New York Mets, versus Jim Bouton, the starter for the 1963 Yankees. Bouton has an advantage since he's an ace and Rick Aguilera is not, but both pitchers are going to give their all for sure. And time travel baseball is a fun game. It's very, very extremely affordable. It's easy to get into. It's got a lot of drama. I think it's almost more of it goes beyond being a game for just baseball lovers. I think it's just a fun game in general for anybody who likes card games or board games. And it's easy to play. You play with the greatest players in history. In this case, it's like you picked we did a tournament where you pick a team, any team, and then of course you're going to have a tournament, and they're all going to face off and see who is the best team in the end. The Mets record up to this point is 2 wins and 3 losses. They were swept in the first series of the season against the 76 Cincinnati Reds. And let's see if we can find the Yankees are here somewhere. There they are. Okay, great. So we're going to get our scoreboard going. And we're right about to start the game. I will give you the lineups quickly. Let's get our mini scoreboard up and running. It seems that the scoreboard operator, is suffering from COVID, and he is not here. So we have to get a replacement scoreboard operator, and he's in place now. I think it's a she, actually, and she's got it up and running. And there it is. And we'll bring that into the view a little bit better. Slide this over just a tad, not too much. And let me go over the lineups for the beginning of the game. And let's get the crowd here. The crowd is definitely into it. You have a nice crowd at Shea Stadium in a beautiful day in downtown Queens, Flushing, Queens, New York. Just a couple of hop, skip, and a jump away from the airport, LaGuardia Airport, and it's going to be for the Yankees. Leading off, Tony Kubek, the shortstop, followed by Bobby Richardson, the second baseman. Tom Tresh, the center fielder. Batting cleanup is Roger Maris, the right fielder. Joe Pepitone, always a controversial figure at first base. Elston Howard, the catcher. Batting sixth, batting seventh is Hector Lopez, the left fielder. A little bit, to me, he's a little bit of an anomaly amongst a lot of very well-known, famous names. To me, he is the least known player on here. Cleve Boyer batting eighth, the third baseman, and Jim Bouton on the mound for the Yankees. For the Mets, the home team, it's Lenny Dykstra in center field. Batting second is Wally Backman, the second baseman. Keith Fernandez, an outstanding color commentator and announcer for the present-day New York Mets, batting third and playing first base. Batting cleanup is Darryl Strawberry, the right fielder. Batting fifth is Gary Carter, the kid Carter, catcher. Ray Knight, third baseman, batting sixth, batting seventh. Is going to be Rafael Santana. Batting eighth is the pitcher Rick Aguilera, and batting ninth is the second leadoff hitter, Mookie Wilson. All right, let's do this. Play ball. And the way it works is you look for the highest number. If it's a red, it's off the pitcher. If it's a white die, it's off the batter. It's that simple. Here's a pitch from Aguilera to Tony Kubek, a left-handed hitter. And that's a 7, so that's going to require us to pull a card. And there's nobody on base, and that's going to be a double into the right field corner unless it's a star right fielder. And let's see, do we have a star in Darryl Strawberry? And he is not a star right fielder, so that ball is going to drop in in the gap, and it's going to bounce to the wall, around first, and into second base is Tourney Kubik with a leadoff double. And here now is Bobby Richardson. Here's the pitch, and that is a 3 off of Aguilera's card. It's a slow ground ball. This is going to allow the runner to move over. Slow ground ball to the shortstop, who charges it and fires on the run and gets Richardson by half a step. All right, 1 down. And here's Tommy Tresh with a runner on third. Infield's going to be in for the Mets. It's Ray Knight at third base, Rafael Santana at short, Wally Backman at second, and Keith Hernandez all on the grass. Here's a pitch to Tommy Tresh. That's a 44. We're going to pull the card and see, is it a picture of a batter or a pitcher? It's a pitcher. 44. Strike 3 gets Tommy Tresh. That's 2 down. And here's Roger Maris. Roger Maris, known for his 61 home runs, broke Babe Ruth's 60 home run mark. And here's a pitch, and that is a 5 off the batter card. That's a hard hit ground ball up the middle. Santana, after it spins, goes to first, low, scooped out by Hernandez, and they get him. 6-3. And that retires the side. And the Yanks, the 63 Yanks, leave a man at third. And who we're going to see? We're going to see, you know what? We're going to go with Dykstra leading off instead of, oh, here he is. Dykstra is going to be leading off against Jim Bouton. And here's a pitch. And that is a 42. It's, well, you add it up, it's a 6, but it's off the pitcher, and that's strike 3. And Dykstra swings and misses at a ball outside the strike zone. Here's Wally Backman. He's a switch hitter batting from the left side. That's an 8 off Backman's card. And that's chopped back to the mound. Bouton picks it up, throws to first. 2 down. Game plays very fast, as you can see. Keith Hernandez steps in the box. He's a left-handed hitter. Straightaway hitter who plays, hits to all fields. Good average hitter. Not really known for his power. In modern-day baseball, he'd be a 30 home run hitter, though. That's going to be an 8 off of the pitcher, and that is a chopper. Slow chopper to Pepitone. Steps on the bag ahead of Hernandez, and that retires the side. 3 up, 3 down. No score. We go to the top of the second. Let's take a look at the scoreboard. No score right now. And again, we'll slide this over just a little bit, just to get that scoreboard over just a little bit so you can see it. And we bring that up periodically. We don't keep it there all the time because there's just not enough space. Joe Pepitone is up, leading off. Here's Rick Aguilera. That's double 3s. It's going to be, we're going to look for the picture. The picture says batter, and that is line base hit to right center field. So Pep is on with a single. He's on at first base. And up comes Elston Howard and then Hector Lopez. Here's a pitch to Elston Howard, and that is a 4 off the batter. That's a deep drive to center field. Dykstra going back, and he hauls it in. 1 down. So Howard gave it a ride, but did not carry. Wind must be blowing in today. Here's a pitch to Hector Lopez with a runner on first base. The pitch. And that's a 9 off the batter, and that is a hard hit ground ball to shortstop. Santana flips to Backman. Backman with the relay in time. 6-4-3 double play, and that ends the inning. No score, bottom of the second. We're going to be seeing Strawberry, Carter, and Knight. Now Strawberry, it's 86. He's about, what, 23, 22. Big power hitter for the Mets. Speed guy as well. That's a 6, and that's off Strawberry. That's ball 4. And Strawberry takes a nice lead. Bouton throws over. Bouton better keep an eye on him. Here's a pitch to Carter. There goes Strawberry. Throw down from Howard, the tag, and he is safe. Stolen base for Darryl Strawberry. He's got power and speed. And Gary Carter now with a with a 1-0 count. Has a runner scoring position here in the bottom of the second inning. Here's a pitch from Boughton. That's an 8. That's off Carter. That's a sharply hit ground ball. That will hold the runner. Kubek looks Strawberry back to second, fires to first in time to get the slow-footed Carter. Here's Ray Knight. Ray Knight played a clutch role in the 86 season for the Mets. The Mets won 108 games. Here's a pitch, and that's a 9er. A 9er is a sharp ground ball again, this time to Cleve Boyer. And he fires the first. One of the outstanding third baseman, defensive third baseman of this era, Cleve Boyer. He will be leading off the next inning. There's 2 outs now. Here's Rafi Santana. Here's a pitch of Santana. Actually, we're not going to walk. It's too early to walk Santana. Here's a pitch. That's a 7, and that's going to require us to pull a card. And with the runner on second, batter hits the deck, avoiding a high fastball. Oh, boy. Umpire warns both benches. Any following hit by pitch will result in a pitcher ejection. These are great. This brings in the drama and kind of is the chart pretty much. There's a couple of charts, but you barely have to look at them after playing this game. It's a lovely game. All right, so Santana dusts himself off, gets back in the box against Jim Boughton, who's not playing any games, letting Santana know. He's sending a message. He's telling Santana, hey, you know, just don't crowd the plate. I want my plate. All right, so here's a pitch to Boughton, from Boughton, and that's a 66. What is this going to be? We don't know. Is it off the pitcher or the batter? It's off the batter. That's ball 4. He loses Santana. And that's going to bring up the pitcher. Aguilera is not much of a hitter. Here's a pitch from Boughton. And that is a 10, but it's off the pitcher, and that's a base hit. What a surprise. Rick Aguilera muscles one through the infield, and that's going to score Strawberry. Strawberry should be daring. I believe he is. Strawberry is daring, and he will score. Stopping at second is Santana. And the Mets are up 1-0. A 2-out single by the pitcher. Most unlikely hero. And he picks up an RBI. Mookie Wilson. Pitch from Boughton. That's doubles. Going to see what the picture. The picture is the batter. It's a 5-5, strike 3, and that retires aside. Jim Boughton gets Wilson on strikes. And we move on to Cleve Boyer in the top of the third inning. It's going to be Boyer, Jim Boughton, and Tony Kubek. Time travel baseball. If you roll 2d6, it's basically a 2d6 driven engine. If the red is higher, it's the pitcher. If the white is higher, it's the batter. If they're even, you pull a gamble card, and that directs you. And let's start off. Here's Cleve Boyer. He's a right-handed hitter. Stands deep in the box. That's a 3, and that is a slow ground ball. Chop to the third baseman, Ray Knight. Ray Knight gets him. 1 down. Pitcher. Is he dangerous? He is not dangerous. We're going to use the other card. And here's a pitcher at bat. That's a 7. We're going to pull a card. And it's a high fastball ripped to the opposite field for a home run. If pitcher's salary is higher than the batter's salary, batter strikes out. So pitcher's salary is a blank, and the battery's salary is higher. So that's a deep drive into the left field seats for Jim Boughton. He connects and hits a home run. Holy smokes. Pitcher Aguilera has no salary, and Boughton has a salary of 1. So that's a home run for Jim Boughton. And next, so it's the game's tied at 1 apiece. And here's Tony Kubek with 1 out. Here's a pitch from Aguilera. That's an 8 off Kubek, and that's sharply hit to the second baseman. Backhands it, sets his feet, fires the first in time. And here's Bobby Richardson with 2 out. Pitch to Richardson. That's a 5 off Aguilera, and that's strike 3. Swings and misses at a ball outside the strike zone to retire the side, but the Yankees pick up 1. It's 1-1. We go to the bottom of the third. You're going to see Dykstra, Backman, and Hernandez. All right, Lenny Dykstra in a 1-1 game comes to bat, and that is an 8. That's a chopper. Bouton picks it up, fires the first, 1 down. And Dykstra not happy with himself. And leading off, that was Dykstra leading off. Now it's going to be Wally Backman. And that is a 5 off of Backman. That's a little ground ball and through for base hit into right field. Roger Maris gets it into Bobby Richardson, but standing at first with a 1-out single is Wally Backman. Wally Backman and Tim Tuffler are 2 second basemen for the Mets. Keith Hernandez, and something I don't do very often is a hit and run. Let's see, not a lot of strikeouts. There's actually a bunch of strikeouts. You know what? It's early enough. Even if it screws up, it's still early enough. It's not going to hurt anything. So let me try to do that. Let me try to do a hit and run. Let me get the hit and run chart. There is a chart for hit and runs. If I can find it. If I can find it. You know what? I'm just going to, let's see. And that's a 7 off of the batter. That's a high fly ball. There goes the runner. And Hernandez lifts it to right center field. Over is Tommy Tresh. Back to first is Wally Backman. Here's Darryl Strawberry. Won't be doing that with him. 2 outs now. Got good power. Pitch from Bouton. And that's a swing. That's a deep fly ball right field. This may have a chance. Going back is Maris. And he hauls it in. Route number 3. Go to top of the 4th. It's going to be Tommy Tresh leading it off. It's going to be Tresh, Maris, and Pepitone. Here's a pitch from Aguilera. And that is a 9er. That is a deep fly ball for Tresh to right field. Strawberry near the line. Makes the catch. Here's Roger Maris. And that's a 7. We're going to pull a card. That's a single line past the shortstop. But if he's a 3, he dives and makes the catch. What a great catch by the star defensive player at shortstop for the Mets, Rafael Santana. So Maris went the opposite way on it and hit it right on the screws, but Santana left full extension and pulled it out of the air. Here's Joe Pepitone, who's 1 for 1 today, 2 outs. And that is a 5 off the pitcher card, strike 3, and Pepitone strikes out. Go to the bottom of the 4th, 1-1. Gary Carter leading it off. That's a 4 off Carter. And that is a chopper to the left side. Shortstop charges. Kubek goes on the run and gets the slow-footed Carter. Ray Knight. He bats from the right side. Jim Bouton checks the sign. Sets and deals. And that's an 8 off the pitcher, and that's a chopper. This time it's Cleve Boyer who charges it bare hands. It fires the first. Low throw, but scooped out by Pepitone for out number 2. It's a 1-1 game here in the bottom of the 4th. 86 Mets versus the 63 Yanks. Here's Jim Bouton to Rafael Santana. It's an 8, and that's going to be a grounder. Again to the third baseman Bouton. Cleve Boyer, who throws him out, and that retires the side. We go top of the 5th. It's going to be Howard, Hector Lopez, and Cleve Boyer. All right, here's the pitch, and that is a 7. We're going to pull a card for that. And a 7. A 7. So with nobody on base, is a single pass. The batter is out at second trying for a double. Careless, which the defense is not careless. It's a double. So the batter's going to be out. And who's the batter? It was Elston Howard, a righty. So it's going to be Lenny Dykstra. Throws the second, the tag by Backman, and they get Elston Howard trying for two. Line one to left center field. And decided to try for two. But Dykstra got it there just in time. So it's going to be a single, and he's out at second. Tagged out, 8-2. And that's one down. All right, here's Hector Lopez. Lopez batted .249. Here's a pitch from Aguilera. And that's a 7. Again, we pull a card with nobody on. Batter fouls one off his fist. Check for injury. And I just pull him out. That's why I do it for one game. We don't play injuries, but it might. Let's see. What we have here that can come in. Unless, Johnny Blanchard. I'm going to bring in Johnny Blanchard. So Johnny Blanchard's coming in for Hector Lopez because of the injury. And so let's do that. We're going to create a player here. And create a sub. Blanchard. I don't think he'll mind since Lopez has not done anything at all, really. So Johnny Blanchard is going to come in, and he's going to be playing left field. And here's Aguilera pitching to Blanchard. There's a pitch, and that is a 6, which is a chopper. And that's Hernandez going to flip to the pitcher covering 3-1, and that is 2 outs. Here's Cleve Boyer. Cleve Boyer grounded out in first. In his first at bat, it's a 55. We're going to pull a card, and it's a base hit. Lines went over the third baseman's head, cut off quickly by Mookie Wilson. Gets it in. They're going to hold Boyer to a single. Big turn for Boyer, but he's got a nice lead, and Aguilera is going to throw there. Sends him back head first. Here's the pitcher Boughton with nobody out. He's going to be swinging away. There goes Boyer. Throw down, and he is safe on a stolen base. And Jim Boughton, a really good hitter. There's a pitch, and that is a 4 off Aguilera. Ball 4, so he walks the pitcher. Something you never want to do. And that's going to bring up Tony Kubek. First and second, 2 outs, 1-1, top of the 5th. Aguilera checks Carter for the sign. He sets. Here it is. And that's a 9 off Aguilera. That's a deep fly off the bat of Kubek to right field. Back goes Strawberry, and he makes the catch at the track. And that retires the side. Aguilera leading off the bottom of the 5th. 1-1 the score. And that is an 8. That's a chopper. And that's handled by Richardson. Richardson throws him out. Here's Lenny Dykstra. Should be Mookie Wilson. Then it's Lenny Dykstra. Hold on a second. Mookie Wilson. Then it's Lenny Dykstra. And that is a 7, which is a high fly. Shallow center. Right there is Tresh. 2 down. And here's Lenny Dykstra leading off. And there's a pitch, and that is a 3 off the batter, and that is a chopper up the middle, and right there is Richardson, and he throws him out, and that retires the side. Go to the top of the 6th, 1-1. Good game here. I got to plug in my stat keeper on my right. It's dying. It's a 10-inch iPad. All right, it's going to be Bobby Richardson leading off in the top of the 6th inning. Here's a pitch from Aguilera. And that's a 7. Again, we got to pull a gamble card. That's going to be a ball that's hit slowly, rolls up the shortstop, Santana's arm. Batter safe unless he's a 3, and he gloves it cleanly and throws the batter out. And that's a great play by Santana. Bobbled it for a split second, but then got a hold of it, fired to first. 1 down. Tommy, that should have been Richardson, but that didn't matter because it was off the gamble card. All right, so Tommy Tresh is up. Pitch from Rick Aguilera. That's a 9. That's a deep fly ball center field. Dykstra playing deep. Actually, he used to play shallow, from what I remember. Can't remember did he play shallow or did he play deep. I got to watch a couple of videos again to memorize that. And here's Roger Maris. Roger Maris has good power, can change the score quickly with one swing on the bat. But here he gets on top of one and chops it to second baseman Backman, who throws him out, and that retires the side. We go bottom of 6th. What we're going to see in the bottom of the 6th, Backman, Hernandez, and Strawberry. 1-1 game. Yanks have 1 run, 5 hits, no errors. 3 left on base. Mets with 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, 3 left on base. Here's a pitch from Bout. That's going to be a 7, but that's off the batter, and that's popped up. Right side. Rogers is there, makes the catch. Here's Keith Hernandez. And that's going to be an 11 off Keith Hernandez, and that's going to be a drive in the gap, and that's going to hop the wall. Maris plays it, and digging for 2 is Hernandez, and the throw and the tag, and he is safe with a 1-out double. Puts the go-ahead run at second base for Darryl Strawberry. And you know what? We're going to walk Darryl Strawberry here and try for the double play. See what happens. Here's Gary Carter. Here's a pitch. And that is a 5. That may be a hard ground ball. Unfortunately, it's not going to be a double play, but it's going to be just runners move up. It'll be a 6-4, runners move up. Or 6-3, rather, runners move up. Only 1 play, and that's the first. And the hard grounder. Because the defense is not alert. I don't add up the points. I just play home and away. All right, Ray Knight. If it's a home team, they would have gotten a double play out of it. Ray Knight with runners on second and third. So Jim Bouton got to work his way out of this predicament here with runners on second and third. Hernandez takes his lead and from third base, and Strawberry from second. A base hit here would most likely score 2 runs. See what happens. Ray Knight bats from the right side against Jim Bouton. Bouton checks the sign, and he sets and deals. And that is a 7, but it's off Ray Knight. That's going to be popped up left field, Johnny Blanchard. And that's the inning. We go to the top of the 7th, 1-1. And the top of the 7th is going to be Pepitone Howard and Johnny Blanchard. And here's a pitch, and that's a 7, and that's a high fly out to right field. 1 down. Pitcher's next, Rick Aguilera. That's a 2-2. We're going to pull a card to see a picture, and it's the batter. 2-2 is a sharply hit ground ball up the middle. Raphael San. Wait a second. That should be Elston Howard. Hold on a second. Let's back up. What was that? That was a Pepitone flies out to right. I got to replay this because for some reason I was looking at them here. I don't know why. Okay, so let's try it with Pepitone. We'll use this roll for Pepitone. It's a 2-2. We pull the batter card. That's going to be ball 4. So Pepitone walks. And here's the pitch to Elston Howard. Aguilera throws over to first. Throws over again. Pepitone back. He's got a nice lead. Here's a pitch to Howard. There goes Pepitone. Throw down, and he is safe. Pepitone steals off the kid. And Aguilera. usually steal off the pitcher. And here's Elson Howard with a runner at second base. Rick Aguilera sets and deals. And that is a niner. That's a deep fly ball. Pepitone may make it to third base on this. He is fast. Deep fly ball. First for a daring runner. Second, that has to be a daring runner. So that's a deep fly ball left center field. And Mookie Wilson chasing it down and comes up with it. All right, there's one out. Here's Johnny Blanchard. Johnny Blanchard came in to replace the injured Lopez. And that's an 8 off of Blanchard. That's a hard ground ball. Runner will advance on this. Second base. Backman throws him out. Runner moves to third. So the go-ahead run here in a 1-1 game in the top of the 7th. Pepitone to third. Craig Boyer the batter. And that is a 2-2 again. We're going to see who it's going to be off. It's going to be the pitcher, and that's strike 3. And he gets him. Big strikeout to get out of the inning for Rick Aguilera. Go to bottom of 7th. We're going to take a sip of water. Bottom of 7th. Let's get the scoreboard. Let's call the scoreboard in. There it is. It's a 1-1 score in the bottom of the 7th inning. This is the third game of a 3-game set. The Mets have won 2 games. The first 2 games. The Yankees are trying to avoid a sweep here. And now it's going to be Rafael Santana from Boughton. And that's a 3, and that's a short single. Base hit, little ground ball up the middle, and through into center field. Tommy Tresh handles it. Gets it into Kubek at short. So Santana's on at first, and here's a pitcher who's going to square. And the pitch from Boughton. And that is a 6. And is he a fine bunter? He is a fine bunter, so it should be a good bunt. A 3-3, I'm not sure. The 3-3 batter safe with a single. His catcher's throw pulls second baseman off. Star second baseman forces batter at first base. Okay, so let's see if Richardson's a star second baseman. So this is where he is a star second baseman. So great play. The catcher actually, the catcher throws off the bag a little bit, and Bobby Richardson stretches and keeps his foot on the bag somehow. So it's a successful sacrifice, but no single. So it's a sacrifice bunt, and it's 2-4. Great play by Richardson to keep his foot on the bag. And that with 1 out, that puts a runner in scoring position. And here comes Mookie Wilson. Mookie Wilson is a 9th place hitter. Let's do that. And Boughton checks the sign. Here's a pitch to Mookie Wilson. That's going to be a 5-5. I don't know what that's going to become, but it's off the pitcher because that's a pitcher, and that is a slow ground ball to the right side. Pepitone up with it. That's going to move the runner over. All right, here's Lenny Dykstra with 2 out and runner at third base. That's a go-ahead run here in the bottom of the 7th for the Mets. The 86 Mets versus the 63 Yankees. With a win here, the Mets will they'll even out their record at 3-3. They lost the first series against the 76 Reds, who are also in the tournament. You have the 31 A's, who are really beating everybody. And then, of course, you have one more team. Can't remember the other team. Here's Lenny Dykstra. He's a left-handed hitter. And here's a pitch, and that is an 8 off of Boughton, and that's a chopper. Back to the mound. Boughton makes the play easily, and that retires the side of the top of the 8th. Still 1-1. Boughton leads off in the top of the 8th. And that's a 4 off Boughton, and that's a ground ball to the left side. Knight throws him out, 1 down. Here's Tony Kubek, pitch from Aguilera. And that's a 7. We're going to pull the card, see what it says. We got a lot of gamble cards in this game. Pop fly double. That's a star left fielder. Mookie Wilson in left field. I don't know that he's a star left field. He is a star, and he runs. That's a drive in the gap, and he runs it down. What a great play by Mookie Wilson. That totally surprised me. Didn't think he was a star. I thought that was going to drop in there for a double. And here's Bobby Richardson. Richardson today's 0 for 3. He's grounded out, struck out, and grounded out again. We're playing time travel baseball. So far, we've done a 35 minutes. These games are about 35. You can get them in 30 minutes if you're playing alone and you're not talking through the whole thing. That's the chopper, and that is Santana. Throws on the run and gets Richardson to retire the side. So it's a 1-1 game. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Wally Backman is leading it off. Both starting pitchers are still in the game. I like to keep them in there. I'd say 3-3. We're going to pull a card, batter picture. So we look at 3-3. That's a 3-2 count. 3-2 count, I believe, is a hit by pitch, and that's gonna get. Oh boy, that's gonna get the pitcher ejected. Pick a gamble. Pitcher image, it's a strikeout. Batter image, it's a walk. Oh no, okay. And that is a pitcher image. Strike 3, and he gets Wally Backman. Swing. Ouch. Totally fooled on that pitch. Little ball hit the outside corner. But it was a ball for sure. Anyway, Keith Hernandez with a 9, and that is a 9 is a hard hit ground ball up the middle, and that's Bobby Richardson. Sets his feet. Sidearms at the first. 2 down. And here's Darryl Strawberry. Pitch from Boughton with a 6, and that's off Boughton. Strike 3, and gets high fastball. Gets Strawberry. And here we go to the top of the 9th inning. It's going to be Tresh, Maris, and Pepitone against Rick Aguilera as a pitch. And that's a 5 off Tresh, and that is ball 4. And Aguilera doesn't like it. He thought that was a strike. And here comes Roger Maris, left-handed hitter. Here's a pitch from Aguilera. And that's a snake eyes. This may be, oh boy. Let's see what this is. This is off the pitcher, and that's a deep drive off the bat of Maris into right field. Strawberry back to the track, and that's out of here. 2-run shot, 3-1 Yankees by Roger Maris. And he trots around the base, gets a high 5 at home plate from Joe Pepitone, and goes into the dugout. It's celebrated in the dugout, and here's Joe Pepitone with nobody out. So Rick Aguilera has given up a 2-run dinger here in the top of the 9th inning, and the Yankees take a 3-1 lead. Let's fix that scoreboard. 3-1. The visitors over the Mets here in the 9th inning. Wow. All right, here's Rick Aguilera to Joe Pepitone. And that's a 5. That's strikeout. It's on Aguilera's card. Next is Elston Howard. 1 out. Pitch to Howard. That's 2-5. So we're going to pull a card. Look at the picture. Picture says pitcher, and the 5-5 is a little ground ball and through for a base hit. Hit it hard on the ground. Nobody was able to get to it. Played by Mookie Wilson left. Gets it into Rafael Santana at short. Elston Howard is on at first with 1 out. Johnny Blanchard. And we try a hit and run here. And that is going to be a 5. 5 is a strikeout. Oh, boy. And Elston Howard is not the right guy to do that with. Elston Howard, but he does have a stolen base. So we're going to pull a card. In a pitcher card, he is out at second. A batter card, he is safe. And it's a batter card. He's safe with a stolen base. So Elston Howard steals second on the strikeout. And it's Clete Boyer. Clete Boyer with a runner at second. And that is a 6 off the pitcher, and that is going to be a little ground ball to Santana, who throws him out at first, and that retires the side wheel. Bottom of 9th, but the Yanks have taken a 3-1 lead. In the 9th, Mets can't do the Mets have a comeback in their bones. They're going to try to catch lightning in a bottle here. Gary Carter, Ray Knight, and Rafael Santana, the bottom of the 9th with a 3-1 game. This game, Yankees need this game to avoid a sweep. Time travel baseball, a lot of fun, plays easy to learn, cheap to get into. Go to the Facebook group. They got tons of stuff on time travel baseball. Here's a pitch. And that is a 9, but that's going to be off Carter. That's a hard hit ground ball to the left side. Tourney gloves it, fires the first high throw, but nice stretch by Peppertone, who's a Gold Glove first baseman. And here's Ray Knight. Ray Knight, that's right-hander. Here's Boughton with a pitch. That's a 6 off Boughton. That's strike 3, and gets Ray Knight 2 down. So the Mets are down to their last out. It's going to be Rafael Santana. We're going to see a pinch hitter. Who's it going to be? Don't have any lefties. Oh, Danny Heap's coming in. Danny Heap is going to pinch hit. Let's pop him in there. There he is. Danny Heap steps into the box. He stands deep in the box. Left-handed hitter. He's more of a pull hitter, but he does go to center field somewhat. They haven't played shaded. Tom Truex is shading over to right center. Johnny Blanchard towards left center. And Roger Maris is a little bit towards the line. Kubek is close to the bag at second with Richardson in the hole. So they do play Danny Heap to pull, and Pete Boyer is off the line. Here's a pitch from Boughton. Last out, and that's going to be a 5 off the batter, and that's a ground ball base hit. Sneaks through the infield. So Danny Heap keeps things alive here in the bottom of the ninth in a 3-1 ball game. The tying run is coming to the plate, and that's going to be the pitcher, but we're going to see, obviously, not going to see the pitcher. We're going to see somebody has a little bit of power. It's going to be Kevin Mitchell. Kevin Mitchell, a little bit of power. And here's Mitchell. Steps in. Kevin Mitchell batted .277, not too shabby. He's a star left fielder as well. A lot of stars on the Mets because they won 108 games. You have to give them some sort of advantage. So here you go. He's a good power. So Jim Boughton can try to keep the ball away. Low and away is what Elson Howard calls for. And here's a pitch. And that is a 55. Uh-oh, this may be trouble. Let's see what it is. That's off the pitcher, and that is a slow ground ball. This will do it. Cleve Boyer up with it. Fires to second, and that is the ball game. 63 Yankees beat the 86 Mets in Game 3. And the win is going to go to Jim Boughton. The loss is going to go to Rick Aguilera. 2 complete games. I love that. Love the older. And that's about it. So the Yanks with 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors, 5 left on base. The Mets with 1 run, 5 hits, no errors, 7 left on base. The MVP of the game is going to be Roger Maris with a 2-run homer in the top of the ninth to give the Yankees a 3-1 lead. And Jim Boughton is a co-MVP for going the distance, allowing only 5 hits and 1 run. So we're going to have a co-MVP situation with Jim Boughton and Roger Maris getting the honors. And that's about it. This is Tony Porter. This is Cards and Dice TV. Thanks for watching. Watch all our other games. We play almost every game in the book on a consistent level. So if you want to see playthroughs to learn the game, you can do that. We got a lot going on here. And it's going to be, I think the rest of the day is going to be Fall Classic Baseball. And but we'll see what happens. I may get tempted to play a Casey Cox game, but we'll see what happens. This is Cards and Dice. This is Tony Porter out.